So what you're seeing now on the screens with us at our Asian Youth Championship is the speed climbing. The last few climbers for the speed qualifiers from the juniors category is ongoing here in Singapore at our Gorilla Climbing Gym. And all these climbers have been climbing since this morning, the qualifiers as well as the leads. And a very, very good timing right there from our delegate from Korea. It's 8 seconds. It's a very, very close fight from the climbers from Japan, and unfortunately that was a false start for our climbers on the right side. That would be the delegate from Hong Kong. Of course, in the starting line is climbers from Kazakhstan and China. Just doing the last minute warm-ups for their speed climbing. Just making sure they're gonna get clipped on. So the difference between the climbers for speed climbing, especially when it comes to time, is really, really intricate. We do have instances of climbers coming in at a difference of a millisecond. It's a little test of reflexes as well as speed. Very, very fast. Oh, so close from the Chinese climber, but going very strong is the climbers. The 7 seconds, it's a little under 8 seconds, sorry. So the timing for all these climbers are really tight. They're just fighting for the top 16 spots for each category, other than the females category, which is
for juniors,
the female juniors category, where only top 8 would qualify for the finals.
Yeah, and then after that they will proceed towards a knockout round. So for the qualifications, what's important is the timing, get the best timing out of the entire group. And after that, during the knockout, they must be able to best the timing of the person that is climbing beside them. So if you want to know what are the timings and the results, it's actually up on the IFSC climbing page.
And as we can see for the qualifiers timing, the disparity between each ranking is very, very close. And of course, right now is ERP from Singapore, affectionately known as ERP, is Emmanuel Ryan Paul from Singapore. And of course, going head to head against him is our climber from Japan, a very strong contenders, all hailing from Japan. Pretty much dominating the competitions in the leads this morning. And ERP. So before they start, they gotta place their feet on this sensor pad to make sure that they do not give any false starts. Now ERP, well, the delegate from Japan is doing very well, and very, very strong right there is the climber from Singapore. Well done. And of course from Japan itself, 10 seconds is a really, really good timing to secure yourself a position in the tops for the semifinals happening very, very soon.
So this is the juniors male category. So when the knockout starts, we will actually start, I think, with the female youth B speed.
And of course, right now on screen we see the top the top athlete for our lead finals this morning, Mei Chi, up against a fellow delegate from Hong Kong, if I'm not mistaken. Very, very good start. Very early lead right there from Mei Chi, taking advantage of his height and just trashing it out, and very, very good timing. But of course, the Hong Kong climber, very good timing as well. A little under 11:30. Very, very good timing from both of them. So what happens for the Youth A category especially is that all the climbers would have to take part in all 3 disciplines.
Yes.
So what we had this morning was the lead discipline, and now is the speed discipline. And so the Youth A category climbers would have to take part in all 3 disciplines and have a combination of points before they get to qualify for the Youth Olympics qualification round, which will be happening this Sunday. It's going to be a very, very long week of climbing for them. Literally every day they will be doing a different discipline.
Yeah.
It's going to be a test of endurance, a test of mental capacity, as well as to get as much as they can from each category, to milk out what they can from the categories themselves.
So immediately right after this, we will see the knockouts round.
Very, very good show, a very good fight from both these athletes.
Yeah.
Averaging about under 10 seconds would give you a good, comfortable position.
Yeah.
But to fight for the top 16 itself, it's a very, very close call for all of them. So actually, this is the second time that all of them are climbing. They all had a first round. So we would be taking into account their best timing of the 2 climbs to settle their qualifications for the semis coming up very, very soon.
So this is quite a different pace from what we'd watched earlier on during the lead finals, where the movement is more static. Even though there are burst movement at certain points, most of the time our climbers are more accurate in their movement, slower and more precise. Here, they have to be precise, but in a very, very quick way, and they have it to the point that they don't even have to look at the foothold, and they know that it's there.
And that's a very, very good timing from both of them, especially we see a 6.9, slightly under 7. But for the qualifications, the best time so far is about 6.5. So definitely a spot for him from our team Korean right there. But gonna see how the finalists gonna fight it out for the position, because it is not just a test of a burst of speed, it is also a little bit of luck in the knockout run.
Yeah.
But of course, reflexes and the ability to keep your composure, familiarize yourself with the speed routes is very, very important. We're going to be starting very, very soon with our semifinals. It has been a very long day of climbing for many of these athletes.
So right now, just a few more checks before we start for our knockout rounds. So up on the speed wall is a climber from Kazakhstan, Altinbekov Bekner from Kazakhstan. And from Singapore, we have Tiyang Chow. So they'll be competing for the male youth B speed. So Bekner actually qualified with a 7.86 seconds. So right now we are looking at Bekner making his way to the top. Let's see if he'll break his previous record. And from this, Bekner will move up. So from this 16, half of them, 8 of them will move up into a next set of knockouts. So we will do this until we get our top speeders. So right now we have a climber from Korea on the left side, and we have climber on the right side from Japan. So it looks really close right now with a slight slip from Japan. So that slip, a multiple slip on the Japan, and Koreans managed to do a 9.91 seconds. So climbers are getting ready.
And right now is the Youth B category going on. The knockout rounds. So previously the climbers, we've seen climbers from a delegate from Indonesia. Up against the delegate from Thailand. So what happens in the knockout round is that when while the timing is still important, it is more of trying to beat the time of your competitor. And then in this knockout round, if you beat the time of your competitor, you move on to the winner pool in order to fight for the finals list for the climbers.
So right now
Now, previously, the climbers upcoming was from Indonesia as well as Thailand. And now for the final group of pairs from the male youth speed, we have Ravianto from Indonesia. We've seen Ravianto this morning, as well as Yusufi from Iran. Yusufi and Ravianto really very well on there. Ravianto fighting on. So he's just gotta fight the time against his opponent Yusufi, and a good job right there from Ravianto. Right from this morning's lead finals up to the current speed. And of course, next up is we have Hajime Takada, as well as Omar Almatov from Kazakhstan, as well as Hajime Takada. Very good start there, right from Hajime. Also a lead finalist this morning. So you can tell that it was really close. It was a good start, but it was a false start. So
Yeah.
really, really unfortunate for him, disqualification for Hajime Takada. But very, very good timing also from Omar.
So right now we see a less than 10-second end right there from our climber from India.
And of course, the speed rounds, because it's a knockout round, even if your timing is really, really good, you have the primary thing to do is to beat your opponent's timing. And, it's very close for all of them. So it is always good to have an early lead when it comes to speed climbing. You secure yourself an early lead, and then a very, very good close timing from our climber from our climber from Hong Kong. Of course, the climbers, while they do have to beat their opponents, their timing actually do counts towards the final rankings. Because the speed competition, the ranking is based on their timings. So now on screens we see the female youth climbers, youth B category climbers. And on the starting is Daravian Maya from Iran, as well as Choi Ji-soo from Korea. So Maya was with us in the morning, if you remember, for the elite finals. A very, very strong start from Maya, a very consistent speed climber.
Yes, she
Yeah,
has
she-
held podium position for this category.
Yeah, and you can definitely see why, with
Yeah.
a very, very good score of 11 seconds. So the knockout round, we see Maya doing very well in both the lead as well as speed. And of course, Choi Ji-soo. And up next, we have Marie, also a contender from this morning's lead finals. And of course, Yi Mei-yu, a fellow contender. So Marie has shocked us this morning when
Yeah.
she did a very, very good job on the lead
She
route.
was the closest to the end.
Yeah, and
I
of course,
think.
Yu, really, really strong, strong climber from China. Marie has a very nice start from Mei, but Marie is almost slipped. But you can tell she's very powerful burst
Yeah,
of speed right there. Now Li
they're
Mei
really,
very,
really
very close.
So you'll
Let's
see
see the
towards
timing.
the end.
Oh, so close!
Wow.
It was so close. Marie was just barely 10 seconds away.
Yeah.
Sorry, barely
0.10
0.10 seconds away. So because it's a knockout round, so even if Mori did very, very well, it is a little unfortunate because she has to beat her opponent first to get to the semis. And of course, up next is Adilaya Uteshava, as well as Azan Bila. Looking very confident, it's just smiling and moving.
So it's really important for our climbers to not commit a false start. So you saw a slip there by
Our climber from Japan, Hajime.
Aza. There was a slip at the start, and I think that have cost her a bit.
It cost her a little under half a second, and it makes a big deal. And on screen right now is the fan favorite Ito Futaba, as well as Choi Na-woo, both fellow contenders from this morning's lead finals. Very, very strong contenders.
So right now our climbers are just checking, making sure that they have a comfortable start.
And just making sure that they are in ready position. A very, very good start right there from Futaba. But caught up.
I'm not too sure why is the timing like that, unless it means she did a false start.
Yeah, it was a false start. So you can see the look of regret on her. Really, really close, Futaba. Because and we have Naru with a very good timing of a little under 13. Now up next is the Youth A categories. For the Youth A category, we see climbers from Kazakhstan as well as Korea.
And like I said just now earlier on, that this is very important for our Youth A category, because this is also the qualification round for YOG,
The Youth Olympic Games, which is happening on the Sunday.
So their points for this will count towards the overall points that will be included in the lead, speed and bouldering ranking.
So it's going to be a long week for them especially. A very strong start from our climber from Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan's very, very good timing.
Very nice. 7.66 seconds.
Definitely a really, really good timing for a youth competition. That was Sergey from the Kazakhstan, as well as Choi Seung-chan. And very, very taking his time, making himself calm and composed is a climber from Kazakhstan as well as Indonesia. Nearly slips right there.
They really look really close. What an explosive power from Indonesia. The
Oh,
sleep.
so close! So he was really, really explosive,
Yeah.
but it was a triple slip of his feet.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of the feet markings on the wall.
Yeah.
It is pretty much where most of these climbers slipped.
So they were actually really close. I would have thought that they would have ended about the same time, but that
It was
slip-
that triple
Yeah.
slip.
yeah.
And there's quick replay and you see it was really unfortunate for him.
Yeah, he was
'cause
really having a
he was a
smooth
very,
run.
very good lead right there with a really strong burst of power.
Yep, that
And,
slip right there.
Yeah, it was a triple sleep and it cost him a lot of time. So even a millisecond matters a lot. I'm gonna see. So now he has again is Indonesia up against the climber from Kazakhstan. The pride of Indonesia, very good start, very strong explosive movement, and Kazakhstan's not
Both
going
have
through,
a
but
false
got
start.
a quick little false start from both of them. So I guess when they went to the top and they see it was a false start, they kind of just it's okay. But a brilliant effort from both though. It's very, very, very unfortunate. So I wonder what happens when both of them gets false starts. I mean,
I'm not too sure either.
Not too sure about
They
that.
might have to
but we're
redo
gonna
the
have to
climb.
check the IFSC record. So you
Yeah.
can always check the IFSC Asia page. The live update is over there. You can see the knockout rounds. And of course, are really close from both of them. They had so much explosion, so much power when they were moving. And then both of them kind of just gave up halfway when they saw especially nearing the last few bursts of speeds. And then they just, yeah, really unfortunate. But it's also that's the thing about speed climbing too. It's also a competition of nerves, a competition of reflexes.
So a climber from Indonesia will be able to do his climb again.
He's gonna be doing it alone, but he's just gotta find it himself. It gets a little bit less motivative for you to climb, especially when you're alone. But I guess he just needs to finish the route, which is why he's taking his time. So
I think it's because the climber just now before him fell off before ending.
it's probably the false start, the timing for the false start.
They did, both of them false started, but the climber on the right side fell off before touching the last one. So I guess in a sense he got knocked out. Yeah,
Maybe.
So I think that is why our Indonesian climber was taking his time to climb.
Yeah,
because
but either
he's
way,
already in.
either way you can tell that he's less motivated, less burst of speed, but also because he has already used up so much energy previously. So it could be a little change for them. It's Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan is that was a really good and very impressive show. Now, right now, back on screen, we see the climbers from Iran, as well as our climber from Japan. And these climbers have been climbing with us since this morning.
this one. Guys, set it back. Ready.
So right now we are looking at Maya and Mayu. So in this knockout round, Maya moved up once again. And next up we have Adelia and Nawu going into the second knockout round. So right now we are looking at a climbers representing Kazakhstan as well as climbers representing Korea. So Kazakhstan is actually making a huge lead right here for our Korean climber. Let's see if our Korean climber will be able to catch up. And there we go. We see Adelia moving to the next knockout round. And our climber on the left side actually committed a false start. Both of them representing Kazakhstan. It's definitely very frustrating when you get knocked out because of a false start. So it's really very important for our climbers. So right now we are looking at our Youth B speed category. So for Indonesia against India. So India making a huge lead, but Indonesia catching up. We shall see. Really close fight, about 1.5 seconds difference between our two climbers. So a climber from India will be moving up. And we are back with the Youth B girls. Fighting for third place right now would be Mei from China and Nawu from Korea. So both of them are fighting for a podium finish. So only one of them will be able to get the third place, and later on Maya and Adelia will be fighting out for first place, and whoever loses in that round is second. So Meiyu from China is on the left and Nawu. So this is quite important for youth right now, as this will determine if they will get a podium finish. This knockout round will be able to secure them the podium of 3rd place. And 3rd place is secured by Mei Yu from China. And next up, we will be seeing the fight between Maya representing Iran and Adelia representing Kazakhstan. So they are fighting for the 1st place position, and whoever loses in this knockout round will be in 2nd place.
So Maya has been very consistent in all the speed comps that she has been in. Going to see a very, very good performance so far. Really proving why she is a very, very good speed climber, of course. But Adelia, very young, very calm, very powerful climber.
So right now, Maya is actually going a very huge lead, but Adelia is trying to catch up.
But really close there from Adelia.
However,
Fall.
So right now, Maya has secured 1st place for Youth B Women Speed. And Adelia coming in 2nd.
And up next we have a climber from Kazakhstan as well as Indonesia. That is Ravianto from Indonesia. So Ravianto is fighting for the 3rd place, right next to the climbers from Kazakhstan. Climber Kazakhstan is Altibekov Butner from Kazakhstan. So Ravianto's done really well this morning at the lead finals. We're gonna see his placement for the Youth Olympic qualifiers itself. And of course we have Butner from Kazakhstan. So Kazakhstan climber Butner actually took a little setback when he started slightly later.
Oh no.
But Ravianto,
false start.
very close. It was a very close false start.
Yeah.
It was almost on
0.1.
time. But either way, Butner actually started slightly later.
Yeah.
So he took a bit of time. Just make sure that he doesn't commit a false start. But that's very consistent movements. So you can see, actually, he started slightly after the start buzzer. And of course, right now, our climbers is fighting for the top position. We have the climbers from Kazakhstan. Is Omar Almatov. And of course, from India, once again, fighting it out is Chikenga from India.
Really close fight.
Chikenga
right
and
here.
Omar, very close right there, even from Omar. So it's a very close for Omar.
Yeah.
Yeah, could have done a very good timing, but that would have been the winner pool. And of course, Chikenga.
So right now, our organizers will just do a quick maintenance, brushing off the chalk, making sure that the tiles are still in good condition. So in preparation for our next category, there will be the Youth A, male and female speed climbers. And our climbers that will be competing here for the Youth A women would be Song Yiling from China, Panapon Kunporiwon from Thailand, Kim Lan from Korea, Maria Kristova from Kazakhstan, Park Doyon from Korea, Ragil Rakasivi Karisma from Indonesia, Sansunga from Korea, Pano Shiprit from India, Ni Mingwei from China. Representing Thailand, we have Disyabut Narada. Representing Indonesia, we have Ni Komang Ayu. Representing Iran, we had Ramezani Rahil. From Korea, we have Ko Jongran. Right here from Singapore, we have Maria Batrishla. And from Japan, we have Mao Nakamura. And from Singapore again, we have Stephanie An.
And of course, if you're wondering why some of these names sound so familiar, it's because a lot of these climbers themselves have been with us since this morning's elite finals. So really, really strong climbing. I can tell how diverse they are in the disciplines for climbing itself.
Yeah.
Especially for Youth A categories. So in the Youth A category males, we have Li Jingxing from China, Shin Yongwon from Korea, Sergei Bezmetsev from Kazakhstan. Apologies if I butchered the name. And of course, Choi Seung-chan from Korea, Jang Dong-hyun from Korea, Barath Pereira from India, Huang Dichong from China, Jasmiko Pamumet from India, Kiromai from India, Akmal Tega from India, Pan Yufei from China, Eun Song-min from Korea, Audrey Yurin from Kazakhstan, Daiichi Nakashima from Japan, Song Hua Long from China, and as well as Keita Dohei from Japan. So it is not just a competition against each other for the speed as well as the leads from this morning. The boulder competition will be happening very soon, just tomorrow, and of course the day after for the finals.
Very
and
exciting
then
times, yeah.
the Saturday is the most exciting event of all, the Youth Olympic qualifiers. So only one from the entire pool of climbers here would be given the privilege of representing Asia in the upcoming Youth Olympics. But of course, it is just the start of the qualifiers.
Yeah, it's the first YOG qualifier, so there will be
A
many
lot more coming up.
competitions.
So only one of them would get to represent the entire Asia. There will be a series of qualifications, and of
Yes.
course, this is just a start. It will be a very good start for all these climbers.
Yeah, so there is something to look forward to next year in 2018. So organizers, Singapore Mountaineering Federation, who has been working tirelessly these past few days, making sure that the tiles are maintained really well. Supporting IFSC Asia in hosting Asian Youth Championship.
Of course, are proudly brought to you by Kailas as well as Gecko King. The IFSC Asia, we see the climbing community just expanding better and better, just more and more inclusive. All the climbers from all over the world, all over the region, coming in together, just doing away with countries and making climbing such a interesting and such a fun event to be doing with each other. It's gonna be really, really close to see how all these climbers grew together.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been with each other for a while, from World Cups, the youth championships happening from since last year, the ones in Tehran,
Yeah.
as well as the ones in Malaysia, and of course many other competitions in the region. So they're pretty much familiar with each other.
And at the same time, you're seeing new faces right here joining us in the regional level of climbing. So this proves how climbing is definitely growing. And definitely these are the athletes to look out for the coming Tokyo 2020.
These young rising stars. just really, really calm, just calming their nerves because short bursts of speed and also lots of power in that
Yeah.
short 10 seconds
Yeah.
that they're in. So in a lot of the qualifiers itself, we've seen a lot of climbers with very, very good timings, but also as many climbers with very, very minor slips that cost them a lot.
Yeah.
So it is not just about the reflexes that you have, it is really about how familiar you are with your movements on the wall. So you see a lot of these climbers they're really young, so you gotta wonder how much practice they have for speeds, especially because speed climbing is not as common, I would say.
Yeah,
Competitions, such
exactly.
large scale competitions
Yeah.
for speeds.
And the thing about speed climbing is that you train a lot. You do train a lot, but the amount of time you spend on the route is most of the time barely 20-15 seconds. Yeah.
And the most unfortunate thing that can happen could be, especially we've seen the false start or slips.
Yes, definitely.
And of course, a huge shout out to how well these competitions has been organized. Of course, by Kylers as well as Gecko King and a lot of other sponsors, including All Sport and of course the venue sponsors, Gorilla Climbing Gym. And
So right now we are looking at Yiling from China as well as Panapon from Thailand. So this is the first round of knockouts. Yiling setting a really big lead right there, securing her place for the next round.
yeah, definitely very powerful moves, but very consistent.
So they will be alternating from women's to men's. So after we finish one round of knockouts by the Youth A females, we will have the knockouts by the Youth A males.
So this is actually a short recovery time before they proceed to the next rounds,
Yeah.
the semis, and of course the quarters, and finally the winner pool.
So on the left side representing Korea, we have Kim Lan. And on the right side of the speed wall, we have Maria Kristova from Kazakhstan.
A very, very strong start from Kim Lan. A little slip right there.
But I think
From-
she's trying to catch up. I think she closed the gap.
Definitely
Really
close
well.
the gap, so it's
So
a
right
power
now
of
it's
wit and
really
grit.
close.
And a very close.
Wow.
How close is that? It's just slightly over 10 seconds of difference in
0.10.
timing. It's a millisecond of change
Yeah.
between them. Very, very close. And excuse me for the error. But
Sometimes we forget that the clock up there is 9 minutes, it's in seconds. That's
yeah,
how fast
especially
they are.
the fact that
Yeah.
it is in seconds.
Yeah, and because they go so fast that we need to go 2 decimals down
Yeah.
to make sure that we have a precise timing for them.
It's a very, very good performance, definitely. Of course, right now we have Park Do-yeon and Charisma. Both of them are finalists for our lead this morning, but it was a pity this morning because Park Do-yeon actually slipped off the first tile. It was a really, really close fight for her. So this is gonna mean a lot for her. She has to put her all into this category, and as you can tell, doing very well. Just pumping her way up. Very, very close. A very early lead from her, as well as Charisma, just not giving up. With a very good timing of 13 seconds is Park Do-yeon.
So these two climbers right here have been here since morning from isolation, climbing for lead finals, and again right here for
Again
speed.
and again for the speed
Yeah.
practice, and then the qualies
And tomorrow they have to climb again for qualifications
for the
boulder.
bouldering. And of course, if they do get into the finals, which I do hope so, we're going to see them again in the bouldering finals. So that's like 4 days consecutive climbing for them. And of course, the Youth Olympics, it's another day a long day, in fact, because all three categories for the Youth Olympics would be happening within the same day.
And right now, our climbers on the wall is Son Sunga from Korea as well as Shiprit from India. So they are actually quite close. However, Son Sunga is actually making a lead. And right now we can see the timer on the wall and we can see that it's a false start. So Son Sunga will immediately move up to the next round. So we see quite a few Korean climbers here, and we have one more later on doing the knockout as well. So next up we have Mingwei from China and Narada from Thailand.
Very, very strong start right there from
Yeah.
Mingwei.
A really big lead.
A very big lead, very consistent, and a very good timing.
Yeah.
Under 10 seconds. So far, the best time so far we have seen is Mingwei with 9.97. Of course, a very good performance from Narada.
Next up from Indonesia we have Suwartini Ni Komang Ayu, and from Iran we have Ramezani Rahil.
So Rahil was also with us this morning. It's very composed. And that was a very, very big false start there
Yeah.
from Rahil. But taking her time is
Suwartini.
Suartini. So just taking her time without any competition, just making sure she finishes
Yeah.
in order to qualify for the next rounds of the semis. Either way, the false starts is probably the biggest bane of all lead climbers. Yeah.
And right now from Korea, representing Korea, we have Ko Jong Ran. And from Singapore, right here from the home ground, we have Maria.
Our first contender from Singapore for the finals so far. And Jongran. Very good start, very strong start from Jongran. Just cruising through the wall. There's
Really big lead right
big
there.
leaps and jumping really, really confidently, very familiar with the routes. And of course, Maria making very good strikes right there. The very good timing of 16, I would say. And of course, Jongran, a very, very good timing of 12, under 12 seconds.
And right now coming in, our last set of climbers for the first round of knockouts is Nakamura Ma from Japan, as well as Stephanie Ann from Singapore.
So Mao is so you can actually tell the difference in physique pretty much. So Stephanie is slightly lean, muscular, while we had seen Mao is really, really physically very, very powerful, very
Yeah.
explosive movements. And Stephanie
So we'll see Stephanie if she can close the gap.
is really, really close right there, almost so close. Well done from Mao Nakamura. A very, very tight fight from Stephanie.
And right now we will moving towards the youth A male speed climbers.
So coming up on the male youth A climbers, a lot of climbers that are pretty much familiar to you from this morning's league finals if you've been with us. So first we have Li Jingxing from China, as well as Shin Yugon from Korea. Very, very strong start from
Wow.
Jingxing, and he slipped,
Still,
but he took a
pause. Yeah, he took a pause.
still a very
but
good
still
time of
lead. Yeah.
7.9. He took a pause,
Yeah, he took a
and then he continued to
Yeah.
burst off.
exactly.
And of course, a
So,
very, very good timing as well from Shin Yugon.
I mean, if he didn't pause there, I think it would have been a shorter time.
Definitely
So
much
maybe
shorter.
I mean, if he's
Maybe
moving up
under
the rounds,
7?
yeah, I
Yeah.
think he can do it.
But probably it's just the starting for their finals. And of course, Shin Yuguan came in a very good time with
Yeah.
8 seconds. Very, very impressive. Of course, next up we have Sergey from Kazakhstan, as well as Choi Sung-chan from Korea. Excuse me for the mistake. Climber from Kazakhstan and Sung-chan from Korea. The difference in physique is pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can put it to their best use. Really cruising right now is Kazakhstan's climber, Sergey. Very good
Very
timing of
close,
7 seconds.
It really makes my heart beat really fast watching these young athletes speed up the wall.
Especially since the timing is pretty much 7 and 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Very close fight for
Yeah.
all these climbers, and you can even see from the time it takes about 10 to 12 seconds for you to secure a spot
Yeah.
in the qualies.
So it's about the difference from between our climbers is almost just 1 second apart, and we have to look into the milliseconds to make sure that we can separate the scores.
Especially, in fact, all these qualifiers came in under 10 seconds. So
So
Yeah,
there's
look
a
from
slip
Korea.
from a Korean.
very close, Dong Hyun
Let's
and
see if he can close it
Bara.
off.
Oh, was so close. Oh, wow, that
Wow.
was a plot twist right there. So there was a huge slip up from Dong Hyun, but
both our
he-
climbers actually slipped, and
Yeah,
both
but-
were managing to close the gap.
and
yeah.
they managed to close each other's
Other's
gap,
gap,
and
yeah.
then Dong Hyun went for the final burst, and Baraf was very, very close by. Up next is Huang Tichong, as well as Jasmiko from India.
Right now we see a climber from China and Indonesia fighting it out. Really
Very close,
head
very
to
close
head.
fight. Oh,
That
It was
half
the
of a
last-
hesitation, the last
the
part.
last towel.
Yeah.
So Tichong actually hesitated that much
Yeah.
lesser.
And in that small amount of time, our Indonesian climber managed to take that opportunity and finish it all the way.
Very, very close fight. Probably for both climbers from for our finals. It's only gonna get more interesting here because the climbers with the best qualifying time comes out slightly at the back.
Yeah.
And of course, right now, fellow teammates we
Yeah.
have there as our fellow teammates from Indonesia. Is
That's the thing
Kiromai Katabin as well as Ahmad Tega, both teammates from Indonesia.
The thing about training together and then competing against each other is you know that one of them will get knocked out.
And then you just have the best wishes for them. And
yes,
that
same team,
is-
same team.
he just did a Spider-Man leap if you saw. So that was really, really, really strong.
They look like they
From,
had fun. So
Kiromai.
that's a good.
But either way, really, really good performance from them.
So right now, climbers from China and Korea. So from China, we have Tan Yifei, and from Korea, we have Seong Min. So right now they look. Let's see if that. So our climber from Korea hesitated a bit at the start. There was a bit of a pause, and that cost him a bit. Cost a bit of a few seconds.
And our climber from Kazakhstan, Audrey Gurin, as well as Daiichi Nakashima. Very good performance from Audrey, a very strong start, and of course trying to close as much as possible. The gap is Nakashima, Daiichi. So the timing is really, really close for all of them, and Kazakhstan is doing really well. But of course, as the rounds go on, they have been climbing with us the whole day.
Yeah.
So many rounds of speeds later. We're going to see how much endurance that they do have. Of course, our last pairing for the day is Dohei Keita from Japan, and well as Song Hua Long from China. Very strong performance there from Hua Long.
Close right here.
And a very close right there.
So we have finished the first round of knockouts. We will be moving into the second round. So we will be back with the Youth A speed climbers, female speed climbers. And first up we will have, from China we will have Yiling, and representing Korea we will have Kim Lan. And right there we saw Yiling taking the lead in this knockout. Next up we have, from Korea we have Park Doyeon, and also representing Korean we have Son Seung-ah. So fellow teammates. So they will restart again. Make sure to get in position.
So what happened is that they have to have their left feet or either limbs actually on the sensor pad to make sure that they are secured on the ground before they commit a false start for the competition. So a very, very strong start from Park Do-yeon.
So looking
But,
at the score, she committed a
unfortunately-
false start.
Unfortunately, it was a false start.
So moving up to the next round would be Sun Seung-ah. Next up we have Ming Wei from China, and from Indonesia we have Suwatini. So these knockouts are moving faster and faster as we get less and less climbers in the knockouts.
And
They're
these
getting
climbers
half every half.
for the winner pool. So a very strong start from Ming Wei. Cruising through onto the wall like a really, really good moves right there.
Suwatini trying to close that gap.
And it was very close, but a small slip up again from Martini. So we have Ming Wei moving on to the winner pool. And then up next is Yongran as well as Mao. Jongran from Korea as well as Mao Nakamura from Japan. Just getting the feel of the towel. Jongran.
So here climbers.
Started at the same time, pretty much the same time, but little difference in height can matter a lot, especially in speed, because you see Jongran just stepping on the towels as if they're just really high steps. But for Mao, she's got to put a little more effort into the explosive movements. And so we have Jongran moving on to the winner pool, and this concludes the quarterfinals for the female youth A category. And then on the starting line right now, we see climber Sergey from Kazakhstan, as well as Sing Sing from China. A very strong start from Jing Sing,
Really a big slip there, Kazakhstan.
but definitely not giving up. It's Jing Sing moving on to the
And
winner
that
pool.
slip cost.
And that slip cost Sergey a little time, about
Yeah.
a second.
Mm.
But still a very good effort. We're going to be seeing him in the small finals later. And congratulations to Jing Sing, moving on with a very good timing of 7.9. Then up next is Bharat from India, as well as Jasmiko from Indonesia. Bharat from India, as well as Jasmiko from Indonesia. The difference in physique, in size, is a little obvious. Got to see how they try to overcome this, especially from Jasmiko. Well, definitely good moves from Jasmiko. Very explosive, very familiar movements. Well done from Jasmiko, as well as Bharat, of course. We're going to be seeing Jasmiko from Indonesia, moving on to the finals against Jing Sing in a moment. But a huge slip from Bharat cost him
Yeah.
a lot in the start. And next is
The thing about speed climbing is it really requires a certain perfection and
familiarization with
yes, a minor slip up can cause a second, and with the sophistication of our climbers have here, the fact that they are climbing behind each other, almost just a millisecond behind, it's really important to shave off those mistakes to make sure they have a good timing.
Of course, Yufei up against Kiramai. a very close slip from Kiramai, but Yufei is just going very explosive movements. And a plot twist again.
Wow.
Wow.
Just 0.15 seconds.
So
difference.
Yufei was fighting very hard
Yeah.
to prevent Kiramai from closing the gap from his slip up, and
Yeah.
he did very, very well in closing that little gap right there.
Yeah.
Very close timing. And a great job from Yufei, but I'm gonna see Kiramai again. But a really, really tight fight from both of them. And of course, our final pairing for the quarters for Youth A is Audrey as well as Hualong. Audrey from Kazakhstan and Hualong from China. Huge leap right there from Audrey. Hualong's not giving up. Definitely a good timing. Very, very good timing right there. The best timing so far for the finals from Audrey at 6.9. And the best timing we have so far, in fact, from all the male categories for the finals. But of course, we're going to see the juniors coming up very soon. Though before that, we're going to be going back to the female Youth A finals.
Yep, and in this round we will be having
The winner pool and
yeah.
the small finals.
So we will have Yiling from China, as well as Son Sunga representing Korea, fighting it out.
Song Sunga, the rare few climbers who are still bespectacled on the route itself,
Especially in speed climbing.
especially on speed climbing.
Yeah.
Very long limbs from Sangsua, but a very good start from our climber, Yiling. A very good timing, 9.34. Of course, Sunga. And we'll be seeing Yiling fighting it out in the winner pool for the top position.
And next up we will be having, also from China, we will be having Mingwei. And also from Korea, we will also be having Ko Kyung-ran. So just now we had China versus Korea, and again, this time around we're having the same thing, China versus Korea.
So
right here.
the irony is that this morning it was dominated by pretty much more Japanese and
Yeah.
Korean climbers, but now we're seeing the Chinese climbers making a huge comeback against
speed
the
category.
Korean climbers. But of course, we still have Indonesia and Kazakhstan making very good progress.
Yes.
And we're gonna see how the bouldering competition is gonna be tomorrow, because all these climbers from the region are just making it so difficult for them to outwit each other.
I mean, this is Asia's best right
The
here.
best of the best of the youth
Of their
categories.
age, yes.
Yes.
So right now, Mingwei and Kyung-ran trying to close each other's gap. Let's-
Mingwei is very smooth up the wall with a 9.16. Very good timing.
So I guess we will be seeing Yiling and Mingwei fighting it out for first place.
In the
So
winners pool.
Both of them have already secured a podium finish. It's just seeing whether they get the first position or the second position. And right now we are going back to the Youth A male speed climbers.
We're seeing Ding Sing on screen as well as Jasmine Ko. So Ding Sing with 7.93 seconds and Jasmine Ko with slightly over 8 seconds. It's been a long day for all these climbers. And then Jasmine Ko, the pride of Indonesia. The pride of Indonesia. Ding Sing, very smooth, very familiar
Wow, that
movements.
leap.
But both of them, it cost him a little slip off right there. There's Ding Sing with a timing of 6.73, the best timing we have so far on the lead walls for the for the youth category finals.
The timing just keeps getting shorter and shorter.
It
They're
just keeps getting
shaving
better.
it more and more, and we hope to see less than 6 seconds, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean the world record is slightly over 5 seconds, so you're gonna see how they're gonna perform very soon.
Yeah.
Of course, up next we have Audrey and Yufei. Audrey and Yufei fighting it out in the winner pool.
Really close.
Very
climbing
close fight from
here.
both of
I
them.
can't tell the difference.
Small,
Wow.
a small slip up from Yufei on the third last tile. A little footing slip cost him that little bit of milliseconds. Of course, a great shout out to Audrey for moving into the finals. For the podium finals, the first or second place. And we'll be seeing more of Jasmiko and Yufei very soon for the third and fourth position. And moving back to the females right now.
So right now you are looking at Sun Sunga from Korea, and also from Korea we have Ko Jeong-run. So they are fighting for the third position of this category.
So our organizers are making sure the auto relay works perfectly, so it doesn't get in the way of our climbers. The winner pool, gonna see the birth of the top speed climber for the Youth A category right here, Senga.
And
Just finishing her routes, very, very good timing still.
so from there we have Ko Jeong-run.
So Jongran would be the third, while Senga very, very close. And of course, our top qualifiers.
Both from China. We have Yiling as well as Mingwei.
Very good position right there. And our organizers just making sure that they are clipped properly, excuse me. And a final burst of action and speed and power for the top position. It's friend against friend. Oh, so close right there from Mingwei.
So Yiling has secured the first place.
Well done from Yiling, but still a good job for Mingwei for having come so far, and congratulations to China for taking the top positions for Youth A category as well as Korea for the podium finishes. And as we move to our finals for the Youth A male categories, we have Jasmiko up against Yufei. It's Yufei from China as well as Jasmiko from Indonesia. It is a very good start from Jasmiko. Yufei trying to close out the gap. And a very good finish from Jasmiko but with a twist right there is Yufei actually jumped out before he fell. So that counted as the sensor has managed to capture his points. And so that was Yufei. So it was so close.
Yeah.
Because just before Yufei fell, he ran for the final sensor free, and Jasmiko just taking that little time more to reach out for the sensor pad.
Yeah. That's why it's very important for the sensors to be very sensitive, because even sometimes if we look just with our eyes, there's sometimes we cannot tell the difference. So with the sensor, it's really sensitive, so that milliseconds help us differentiate our climbers.
Yes. And right now, the winner pool is Audrey as well as Ting Sing. Both of them came in with with 6 seconds in their timing. So it's a very close fight because the timing for Ting Sing was 6.73 as well as Audrey with 6.9. So gonna see how both of them try to emulate what they have done so far with their best timing of 7 seconds. And just making sure that the system is well set. So what would happen right now is as we proceed to the speed finals for the top position in the male A category, we're gonna be seeing the juniors coming out. So in the juniors females,
In the juniors female, we actually go straight to the top 8. So we have Basdigna Devi from Indonesia. From Malaysia, we have Tieyi Trix. From Kazakhstan, we have Alina. Representing Korea, we have Cha Yu Jin. From Korea, we also have Kim So Hyun. Representing Singapore, we have Diana. From Kazakhstan, we have Margarita. And again, from Singapore, we have Nadira.
and of course on the junior male is we have Asan from Iran, Golub from Malaysia, Songbum from Korea, Elda from Kazakhstan, Emmanuel Ryan Paul from Singapore, Aloysius from Singapore, OJ Hyun from Korea, Taito Nakagami from Japan, Songmin from Korea, Yoshiyuki Ogata from Japan, Alimzan from Kazakhstan, Kamal from Singapore, So Dongjin from Korea, Wang Fengqi from China, Roman from Kazakhstan, as well as Meichi from Japan. So a lot of these names, if you find them familiar, they have been with us since this morning for the elite
Yeah.
finals. I'm gonna be seeing them around again for the bouldering competition happening tomorrow. And of course, tune in to the IFSC Asia Championships bouldering finals happening this Saturday. And definitely keep yourself glued to the screens for the Youth Olympics qualifiers happening this Sunday.
It's definitely been a long day. Right now, Singapore time is 5 minutes away from 9 p.m.
And they have been climbing with us since 8 a.m. So it's like 12 hours of
Yeah.
climbing and isolation and just being here with us. So the dedication all these athletes have
Yeah.
to the sport itself is definitely worth all the respect that we should give. Because climbing to have trained for this one event alone.
Yeah, it's definitely cliche to say that the youth is our future, but this right here is definitely proving to us that they are the future of this community, and they are definitely bringing climbing into an international stage. And with the coming of Tokyo 2020, I'm pretty sure that some of these athletes are already having that in mind, wanting to qualify for that. But next up will be the one that is coming sooner in 2018. Is actually Youth Olympic Games in 2018. So that's our Youth A athletes will actually be looking forward to that.
Just making the final preparations, our climbers. The winner pool for the Youth A category. Jing Xing and Audrey raring to go. Just making sure that they are warmed up enough. And of course, our junior category climbers are all getting ready And a last spurt of action from our youth A category, Jing and Audrey. And it so happens that a lot of these times speed itself is, because it's a knockout round, the pressure gets added as you wait. The longer you wait, the more time you get to have anxieties and get anxious for the routes. And wow, there's Audrey. Come on, finish it, Audrey. It's 10 seconds from Audrey, and of course, the record so far for the male speed is from Jing with 6.44 seconds.
Wow.
6.44 seconds. That's very close to World Cup standard.
Seems like you just have to turn away and you look back and he's
And
done.
he's done.
Yeah.
Well, he has definitely been progressing very well with a very good time for the finals itself, just getting better and better from 7.9 seconds to 6.3, and of course with a 6.4 seconds finals. So I wonder what will happen if he has to climb again. Would he get maybe like 5 seconds? And
Yeah.
that would be very impressive, but definitely not impossible. So joining us right now, we have the male junior category from Malaysia is Galip, as well as Iran. We have Asan. Getting very, very, very close to a late night here at a Gorilla Climbing Gym. It's a good thing that it's actually indoors and
Yeah.
air conditioned, because the condition gets kept standardized throughout the competition. So we're gonna see a lot of these climbers very soon, as the organizers take a last minute safety check for the speed climbing.
So right now we have our first two climbers doing the knockout round for the juniors category. So a timing of 6.53 seconds right there, and we're just starting.
Definitely proven they belong to the junior category, just getting stronger and stronger. Our climber was Asan from Iran with a very, very strong seconds of 6 seconds. And up next is Lee Sung-bom, as well as Elder. Lee Sung-bom from Korea and Elder from Kazakhstan.
So really, our climbers are making leaps and bounds, quite literally right here. And another less than 7 seconds, 6.84 right there by our Korean climber, Lee Seung-byeon. So a really good start, really strong start.
So it looks like you gotta have at least a very good timing of under 7 seconds to make it for the finals, for the quarterfinals. Sorry, for the semifinals. And up next is Emmanuel Ryan Paul against fellow climber Aloysius, both representatives of Singapore. It's gonna be a very close fight between these fellow team members. Now Emmanuel Ryan Paul slip off right there, and Aloysius doing very well. And Aloysius, of course, ERP catching up very, very fast. The 10.45 from ERP. He took a lot of time when he slipped off the tiles 3 times in total, but caught up very, very soon when Aloysius also slipped. But a very, very strong movement from ERP, so we could see him again in the quarterfinals when he would be up against the climbers for the next pair. And of course, right now is Oh Jae-hyun. Oh Jae-hyun from Korea up against Taito Nakagami from Japan. Jae-hyun, very, very strong start, but a quick slip of the foot and being caught up by Taito, but just narrowly catching up from Jae-hyun with 9 seconds. Still a very good effort from Taito. We're going to see the replay again. Catching up very, very fast. Could have done even better. Red next up is Songmin from Korea up against Yoshiyuki Ogata from Japan. Yoshiyuki was with us this morning in the lead finals, so unfortunately he did not perform as well as he has expected. But speed finals. Very good start right there from Songmin.
Yeah, there was a pause there.
There was a long pause. Could have
But
done
still,
still a
securing
very
it.
good time for 8.53 seconds from Songmin, a fellow contender for the lead finals this morning. And you see him taking a quick breather before he just goes on again, and explosive movements, strong movements with very familiar positioning of his own body before he burst on the wall itself. And of course, our Kazakhstan climber is Alimzan, as well as Kamal from Singapore.
What I like about the climb by our Korean climber just now by Son Min is that even though he slipped, he was composed.
He was very composed,
yeah,
just
he
taking it.
immediately went and recover.
His recovery was very fast.
Yes.
And he did not let.
He did not panic.
He did not panic, and he did not let Yoshiyuki catch up at all.
Yes.
Maintaining his lead. And of course, Kazakhstan, Alimzan. Oh, so close from Alimzan. Oh,
We see both fall.
it was so close because it didn't matter what time he took if he managed to finish it, because
Yeah.
Kama actually slipped off too.
Yeah.
But now this
they
will be a
have to do
retime.
Rerun.
You gotta have to reclimb.
So he has another chance.
He had a chance, and it was so close. You could hear the crowd going when he slipped off, and he himself had a huge face of regret when that happened as well. You can see he's really tired out from the burst of energy.
Yeah, it definitely.
Definitely, and of
Doing
course,
it 2 times consecutively is definitely gonna take out some
It's
power
a-
out of you. Yeah.
definitely a mental fight against yourself, because to take it 2 times.
Yeah. I mean, in bouldering itself, when we do dynamic moves, we don't usually try to do them too many times at one go.
Yeah.
But this is one entire route of dynamic movements.
It's a long fight for him, Alimzan.
But they've been training for this, and I think they can do it.
And of course, Kamal, very composed right there. The crowd was going crazy when he slipped off. He almost slipped for the first time, and then he caught on and continued his way, but then unfortunately he slipped again. So this round is gonna matter. Gonna see his burst of anger right there from Alimzan. And Kamal not giving up. Very close fight. Come on. Oh, so actually it was a false start from Kamal itself. But well done to Alimzan.
Wow.
Very, very close. I mean, Kamal didn't realize that he had a false start, but when he went to the last towel,
Yeah.
he saw he could have won, but that's the thing about false starts.
And the thing about the false start is you only know when you're reaching the
Because
top
it's so high up.
Yeah, so you're very focused on your climb.
Until the last 3
Yeah, until
tiles
the
where you
last
get to
end.
see your own time.
Yes.
And you realize it was a false start, so it didn't matter. And right now is Seo Dong-jin from Korea up against Wang Fengqi from China. It was a huge plot twist from the previous pairing.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see. I mean, we were all rooting for Kamal when both of them slipped at the same time,
Yeah.
and Kamal had a little bit of edge over Alimzan, but it was a false start.
And for the viewers as well, it's also a bit of a mystery
Because you don't
we
see
see from the below and the camera pans up.
And it's a very close timing from both these climbers, with Feng Qi taking a small lead with 7.3 seconds. You see how flighty their movement is. Very dainty, very composed movements. Just keeping his lead all the way to the end. His small lead. And of course, the final pairing, we have Roman Kostevos from Kazakhstan, as well as Meiichi Narasaki from Japan. Meiichi is the top contender for the lead finals this morning. The only one who managed to finish the route for the males categories. And Meiichi and Roman.
So
Very
Meiichi
close
is
call from
trying to
Roman.
He's closing the gap.
A very good timing from Meiichi with 8 seconds, but Roman very close, but a fall from him.
Yeah.
So we'll be seeing Meiichi in the next round. Now, so both of them are really tall climbers. So
Yeah.
instead of actually needing explosive movements, they just need to step very high.
Yeah.
Unlike some of our climbers, including Songmin as well as Feng Qi, who is slightly shorter. So it takes a lot more explosive movements for them.
So right now we are moving on to our female junior speed climbers, and representing Indonesia we have Berthigna Devi, and from Malaysia we have Tan Tiayi Trix. So as said before, only the 8 climbers, so there is a shorter round for the female juniors. So Devi cruising through this with a 10.02 timing. And with Trix finishing her climb.
And so far, the female category for all the entire youth category, the strongest climber for the speed is actually from the youth B category. Maya, if I'm not mistaken. The strongest climber from youth B. Wow. So we're going to see how she progresses. But of course, these female junior climbers, we may see a record breaker. But either way, it is going to be very exciting when we see the upcoming World Cups and more IFSC competitions.
And right now on the wall we have Matevosyan Alina from Kazakhstan, as well as Cha Yu-jin from Korea. So right now Yu-jin actually had a slight advantage, but Alina managed to close the gap towards the end.
So you actually see Eugene do a little boulder movements right there with knee turns and little bit of technical moves trying to get on the speed wall. But Alina managed to close up the gap with very explosive movements. Risky movements still, but definitely brought her a long way. And
So next up we have Kim Seo-yoon from Korea, and coming here from Singapore is Diana.
So the difference in size and structure, you can see a little difference, but we're going to see how Diana would manage to overcome this little setback. So on their marks, it's a very, very strong start.
So in doing a big lead, Diana trying to catch up.
So Diana, oh, so close from Diana. A little slip off, but we're gonna see her again. So we're gonna see her performance. But great congratulations to Sohyun, moving to the quarterfinals. Apologies.
And next up from Kazakhstan, we will actually have Agambayeva Margarita. And from Singapore, we have Nadira Azmi. Margarita and Nadira getting ready.
Trying to finish up the gap is Nadira, but Margarita is cruising on, just very, very decisive moves, very explosive, powerful leaps right there. But a very close call for Nadira. Gonna see. And now we'll be moving back to the juniors male category. Is Asan up against Sungbom. Asan representing the Islamic Republic of Iran, as well as Sungbom from Korea. So Asan is the current record holder with 6.53 seconds in the male youth category in the finals, with Sungbom closely behind at 6.84. A very, very close fight from both of them. It's Asan and Sungbom.
Both with 6 seconds.
So both of them actually broke the record for the youth category, the youth junior category. But Asan managed to maintain his lead all the way to the top. 6.23 seconds right there.
It looks like they swipe at the same time for the end. So it's really
so
close.
There was no slip ups, no room for hesitation, and they did really, really well. And of course, up next we have Emmanuel Ryan Paul from Singapore and Jaehyun. Jaehyun from Korea. Emmanuel Ryan Paul, very good job, but gotta manage to maintain his lead. And a close slip. Oh, that was so close for Emmanuel Ryan Paul. So it was a false start from Emmanuel Ryan Paul. But we managed to see Jaehyun with 9 seconds.
To see
Let's see the replay for the false starts. And you could see that Emmanuel Ryan Paul was very, very confident all the way to the end, and he was really disappointed when it showed that he actually committed a false start.
So right now, I think there is an appeal that is being made, I think. So we'll just have to wait and see.
But of course, upcoming we have Song Min up against Lim Zan, and of course Feng Qi up against Mei Qi for the quarterfinals. I mean, it is really heart-wrenching when you put all your effort in and you are on the winning side, and then you look up and you see the huge false start sign right there.
Yeah. And like I said, it's also, as much as it is a suspense to our viewers right here, because we cannot see the entire wall, so we only know
Up until the last
until
few
when
panels.
we pan up, the camera pans up. So it's the same for the climbers. They are not focused on the score yet, on the timing, only when they reach the top.
And of course, on screen you see Emmanuel Ryan Paul. So he would be moving into the appeals as the judges discuss with each other. The officials will be discussing with each other. And the finalists on screen is Mei Qi as well as Song Min. But that's the thing about speed climbing, really. I mean, it is very, very exciting, and it's such a short burst of movement. You just find yourself so committed into climbing, into finishing the route, into giving your best time, that you kind of just forget. You may get overexcited and then you start commit a false start. Really, really disappointing kind of conclusion to come to. So we have to see if the appeal gets through. But of course, sometimes the technology we have here, it would be quite fair for all the climbers, I would say, because the technology is really, really advanced, captures every single second, every millisecond that the human eye cannot catch.
Yeah.
So on screen is Song Min as well as Lim Zan. So Song Min's actually brought his own little rug to wipe his shoes on, to get as much friction and contact as he can. Especially on the smears on the wall. You could see a lot of smear tracks from qualies all the way to the finals. And that's Song Min and Lim Zan. Very, very good start from both of them. A little step from Lim Zan, giving Song Min some advantage. And coming in at 7 seconds, 7.1 seconds is Song Min. And of course, beating his own timing from the previous finals round is Lim Zan with 10 seconds. Very good lead for both of them. Maintaining it all the way is Song Min, and Lim Zan just finishing it with the best timing that he can get. And finally, the pairings for the quarterfinals, we see Mei Qi, Narasaki, as well as Wang Fengqi from China. Wang Fengqi as well as Mei Qi. A very good start from both of them, maintaining the lead. Now Fengqi, wow, Fengqi is doing really, really great.
Yeah.
And of course, a very good job by Mei Qi as well.
He looks very happy though.
He just looks very happy. Probably a huge relief from him this morning, since the lead finals, a very, very stressful event to be watching, because it was a really, really difficult route. And Fengqi is just very steady throughout his whole leap on the wall.
And also, actually, when I was reading through Mei Qi's record, he actually doesn't speed a lot. So he's usually a boulderer, and then sometimes he lead climbs. Yeah, so most of his records is in boulder climbing. So I guess if he's aiming for the Olympics, I guess this is his way of starting into speed climbing as well. So even if it's just starting with it, it's a really great start. And right now for the girls from Indonesia, we had Devi, and representing Kazakhstan, we have Alina.
So for the ladies, you see that the movements are less composed as the males because are slightly shorter in stature. That's one, but at the same time, the movement details are further away from each other, so it poses as a little problem for them sometimes.
And right now, and on the screen, representing Korea, we have Kim So-hyun, and representing Kazakhstan is Margarita. So Kim So-hyun and Margarita getting ready. So Margarita trying to get that lead. So later on, Devi from Indonesia and Margarita from Kazakhstan will be fighting it out for first place. And whoever loses between the two will be taking up second place.
And of course, the record holder for the junior category, Aesan, up against Jo Hyun. Aesan up against Jo Hyun from Korea. This speed category is Aesan's best category. If you see his timing, it's really, really good, really impressive for a junior. Very, very good timing. Gonna see if he can better his own timing. Very steady, very familiar moves, very powerful. Aesan with a 6.22. So he's bettered his own timing.
Yeah.
From a 6.23 to 6.22.
Maybe I have a theory that he's saving it all up towards the end. So to maybe the last one will really shave more of the timing.
It's like every time he gets on the wall, the timing just gets better and better.
Yeah.
And of course, with a very nice number of 7.77 seconds was Jaehyun. And now we have Sungmin as well as Sungchi. Sungmin from Korea and Sungchi from China. The final pairings for the podium finishers. Very close call
Really
for
close
both these
fight.
climbers. Very
Wow.
close, very, very close. It was Feng Qi with 6.7 seconds. So Feng Qi would be fighting it out with Aesan for the top finisher. And we would be seeing Jaehyun up against Songmin, fellow Team Korea.
So right now we have Alina from Kazakhstan and Kim So-hyun from Korea fighting it out for the third place. So they are really close. It's really strong fight. Like if the timer didn't tell me who tapped faster, I wouldn't be able to tell really. It was that close.
I mean, even with the video recording, you can't tell because it was so close. And then up next,
Up next, we will have Devi from Indonesia and Margarita representing Kazakhstan, fighting it out for the first place. And whoever gets knocked out in this round will be taking second place.
it's a very, very long period of climbing for all these climbers. From qualies to this rounds of knockout, this fast and furious rounds of knockout. Taking the lead right there. Well done.
Yeah,
Very, very good job right there.
really good climb by Devi. And Margarita will be taking up the second place for our juniors women's speed climbing. And finally, we will moving to our male speed climbers in the juniors category.
Fighting it out for the third position is Jae Hyun up against Song Min. Song Min and Jae Hyun. Been training together, fighting together. Jae Hyun taking the lead. Whoa!
Wow!
Whoa! Look at that timing.
It's not 0.1, it's
It's 0.01. Wow! A huge, huge plot twist right there. It was so close.
I need to see that again. And right here, we are looking at it
Definitely gonna see
in the
that.
replay. How close it was for our Korean climbers. 7.53 and 7.54. So it's definitely just a 0.01 difference.
I wonder if what would happen if both of them get the same timing. Like, would they have to do it again? I mean, yeah, if they'll have to do it again, or whether they tie for the third place. But either way, we have the strongest contenders from the male junior categories. Asun up against Feng Chi from China. Asun has been consistently doing very well. Asun and Feng Chi maintaining themselves composed, not a single slip. Wow!
He
Wow,
once again beat
great
his own
job.
record. Just now it was 6.22. Yeah,
And then we will have Feng
he's
Chi.
really relishing it and enjoying it.
Yes, definitely. Definitely his category. So I was
Yeah.
saying it is his category. It is him fighting against his own timing. But of course, Feng Chi has progressed very well
Yeah.
from 7.3 seconds to 6.5 seconds right now. His best timing as of yet in the finals.
And it's really nice to see
A display of sportsmanship.
yes, by our athletes, even though they're coming from different countries.
they've
they're
been-
doing the same thing.
Yeah, they've been climbing with each other from
Yeah.
different World Cup World Youth competitions. And I'm gonna see all these climbers again tomorrow for the bouldering section that will be happening in the early morning, about 9:30 a.m. with us at the Asian Youth Sport Climbing Championship. So once again,
So we just want to do a shout out to our climbing partners. We have Kailas for their highest quality products that they've provided for us in support of this event, as well as Gecko King providing climbing sports facilities as well as tiles. And so we will be right here tomorrow, and you can catch us tomorrow on the bouldering finals, which will be happening on Saturday, 8 July.
So if you're here
tomorrow
in
we'll-
Singapore, drop by Gorilla Climbing Gym.
yeah, to see the qualifiers.
The newest and biggest air-conditioned indoor climbing gym for the border qualies tomorrow, or head on down again on the Saturday, 10 a.m. for the finals. And we would see you again very, very soon for the Asian Sport Climbing Championships.